Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. We have an unsurmountable task that seems impossible and in fact may very well be. We have a very large problem. We have one goal in life, and that's Shifti Beis Hashem Kol Yemei Chayai. That's what David HaMelech said. One thing that I ask, Achas Shoyalti, is just to live a life of meaning and to elevate above all of the petty things that are not important, and to dwell with God and to live a life of nitzchias eternity and be rewarded for it. But yet, this enemy, this Yetzer Hara, he's very crafty, he's very cunning. The Chayvus Halavavos tells us that he's part of our flesh. He knows us better than we do. He knows us better than ourselves. He sets up traps when we are sleeping, for he never sleeps. And he is much wiser than we are. So what chance do we really have? How can we possibly negotiate with a terrorist that we don't even know what he wants? And to make matters worse, the Gemara Masechta Sukkah Daf Nun Beis Amud Aleph tells us that God will remove the hidden one from before us. The Yetzer Hara has 7 names, and one of them is Tzafuni. He is the hidden one. We do not know his motives. We do not know where he's going to attack us from. How are we supposed to battle against someone or something, aka the Yetzer Hara, and not know what he even wants or where he's going to come from? The Gemara there continues, has to do with Tisha B'Av, that Nasan Einav Beis Hamikdash Rishon. The Yetzer Hara put his eyes onto the first temple, that holy edifice, the one lasting piece of clarity that we had in the world, and then destroyed it. That's what the Mishnah says, the Gemara says. He put his eyes to it. Seemingly we had no chance to even fight him. And then the Gemara continues, look it up. 52a, back in Masechta Sukkah. Then he put his eyes upon the second Beis Hamikdash and then destroyed that one. Nasan Einav Ba. So what chance do we have, I ask you? The game is rigged. It's completely fixed. How are we supposed to fight something that seems like it's an inevitable doom? The answer? The one answer, Rabbi Yerucham Levovitz, the great spiritual dean of Yeshivas Mir, tells us. Moshe Rabbeinu calls Yehoshua before he dies and says, this is what you must remember. Vayikra Yehoshua vayomer chizku ve'imtzu. Be strong and strengthen yourself. Be tough. Elevate yourself and inspire yourself. There is one and only one way to fight back against a hidden enemy, and that's to strengthen yourself and to rise above with such inspired strength that you cannot lose. And you know what happens then? Even still, we don't have the kayach to fight back. But then Hashem gets on your team. Then Hashem jumps on your inspired bandwagon. The Shloah tells us that Haba'ah litame. If someone comes to sin, he doesn't want to be involved in good things. He's looking for averos. Then poschen lo, God opens up those opportunities. But habal l'taher, if you want to come do mitzvahs, you want to come live an elevated spiritual life, then not poschen lo. God does not present you that opportunity. But misayein lo, he helps you. He brings you along. The Shloah tells us there's a difference. When you want to do good and you want to be inspired, yes, it's impossible, but until God jumps on your bandwagon, it's no longer impossible. There is one answer to fight back against this unsurmountable challenge, and that's chizku ve'imsu. Be strong and fight back and take the battle to him. Rashi tells us, Parshas Dvarim, Chazek levilti ochel dam. That's what the pasuk says. Be strong and do not eat blood. Rashi's bothered by, you mean to tell me that you need to inspire the people not to eat blood? For blood is not desirable. No one lusts after blood. Nobody wants to eat blood. Why would you tell me the word chizku, chazek, bildi achol dam? Says Rashi, it's a kal v'chomer, it's a kol shekain, it's a certainly. Because if a person needs to be inspired to follow the mitzvahs, even for something he doesn't desire, then how much more so for something that his body lusts after, that you must say, chazak, chazak, minis chazek. It's not a coincidence that we finish every book of the Torah as chazak, chazak, minis chazek, because if not for this, then we don't have a chance. There's only one Torah source you must remember. Shlomo HaMelech tells us, Proverbs, the pasuk goes as the following. The pasuk goes, Hachazek b'musar al teraf. Be strong. Grab onto your musar and do not let go. Ki hi chayecha, for it is your life. Now, why is musar your life? Why is self-growth your life? The Vilna Gaon expands. The Vilna Gaon tells us, and for there's nothing better than a Vilna Gaon upon King Solomon's wisdom, for there probably is no greater wisdom in the world. Zok the Vilna Gaon. Lochein tzarich tamid leschazek. Therefore, a person must always be inspired. Ve'im lo yischazek. This is the point I wanted to get to. For if you cannot inspire yourself, lama lo chayim, then why are you alive? If you're not living a life of charting like a kindergartner charting his math problems and making a multiplication table, figuring out when you're going to beat that midah and how I'm going to do this and how I can grow, making charts, charting your path to greatness, living a life of chazak v'nischazik, then ve'im loy zeh lama loy chayim, you have nothing. Holy Jews, if you can hear me in Brooklyn and Lakewood and Virginia, wherever you may be. If you're not chazak v'nischazek, then we don't stand a chance. He's stronger. He's more crafty. He knows us better than we know ourselves. But to rebuild that holy edifice, that Beis Hamikdash, and to reach eternal glory, then one thing is needed. It's Moshe's parting advice to Yeshua, that chazak v'nischazek, to constantly inspire yourself. Fall again, but get up and rise, for a man isn't judged upon how many times he falls, for how many times he can get up. Chazak v'nischazek. Keep falling, but God forbid, don't ever stop getting up. And when you do chazak v'nischazek and live inspired, then Hashem jumps on your bandwagon. And then it's a different story. And then you become David fighting back against Goliath. And as the pasuk finishes in Mishlei, Ve'elikim lo ya'azvenu biyado, and God will not forsake us on our path to victory.